I was doing some heavy deadlifts and I ran into a problem. Today I'm going to talk about bar safety, and we're going to look at a couple of bars and change out a few things just to make sure we're okay. So this is a lift I did last week, and if you look to the right of the screen, the weight shifts pretty substantially there. And here in slow motion you'll see it shifts. And my next lift was unsuccessful because the balance was off on the bar. The right side of the bar came up for me, but the left didn't. And that was a problem. But I wasn't aware of that until we actually took everything off and took everything apart. What we're looking at here is the end of the cap that holds the bar on. So as you can see, this bushing is deformed. It's bent. I was doing heavy deadlifts the other day, and well, heavy for me at least, not heavy for some people. And one of the bar, or one side of the bar, this side of the bar, came completely loose to where we could just pull it on and off of the bar. And that was because the bushing had failed. Let me show you. So the bushing we just took off was this one, and you can tell it was deformed and not in great shape. This one is also, this is the one that came off this, and it was physically moving. And if you look closely, there really wasn't anything holding this thing on, because it had bent itself in such a way that it just was able to slide from this way, slide the whole entire mechanism. Even though this was bolted into itself, it was still sliding back and forth because the bushing had failed. So these are not washers. They're not washers. They're bushings, and they're more heavy duty. So I went to Ace Hardware and grabbed some. So the bushings I'm throwing on are going to be thicker and more heavy duty than these, and that should help me in my lifting. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the other ones that I have over here as well from my other bar, and we're going to see if those ones are in as bad a shape as these ones were. Taking these off is pretty simple. I've got a 10mm Allen socket. I'd already loosened these up before, so I'm able to use my fingers. They may be so tight you're not able to do that. So just remove this bolt which held this on, and this is another good reason to check your stuff, because this one it doesn't have the same washers that came with, or the same bushings on the end that came on this one. So as you can see, this bar though is a heavier duty bar to me, because it's got this big spacer here. It's not simply a bushing. This feels like steel. It's much thicker than the bushings I even just bought. So it's important, I think, to take the ends of your bars off and just analyze these, see what you've got. These ones look like they're good. I'm going to go ahead and swap out one of these bushings and put it on with this one, just so they're even. But I think this bar's in good shape. I'm going to go ahead and swap out and put the bigger, heavier duty bushings onto this bar. But I don't know that there's much difference in bars. They look very similar, but the ends are dramatically different with these little bushings. So with a bushing like mine that was broken, what had happened is, as I was deadlifting, the weight slowly started to shift this way, and it had moved, about that distance, maybe even more. And if that had happened on somebody doing an overhead squat or some more compound movements than just a deadlift, that could have been a big deal, and it could have hurt somebody. So check your bars, people. Check your bars. Anyway, changing these out. It's really simple. Throw the bigger, heavier duty bushing on. Throw these ones away. And I'm going to check these periodically. It's really simple. I mean, literally, it's just taking a 10mm Allen head and bolting them on. It's nothing super difficult. I got this bar for 20 bucks at the thrift shop, and I use it myself for squatting and deadlifting. And I use this is my bench pressing bar. I honestly assumed this was the heavier duty of the two, just because of the way the look and the feel of it. It feels thicker. I don't know, but that may not be the case. Go ahead and get the other side. And that's that. Took me a couple of seconds is all, maybe a couple minutes, but now my bars are going to be safer.